Hello and welcome to my Magicka Dragon Knight build for the Summerset patch. This is a light armor build running 5 pieces light and 2 pieces heavy. The build is running double sword and board. For the gear I'm running 2-piece willpower on the front bar, infused with a weapon damage enchant in the main hand and a shield that's impenetrable with the Magicka enchant on the offhand. On the back bar, I'm running 2 separate 5-piece sets that are only active on the back bar. So that would be Magicka Furnace and Weird Tree. The reason why I'm running Weird Tree is because right now the meta is slowed and defile and debuffs and all this stuff. And Weird Tree is a good way to counter that because the 5-piece basically gives you a purge like the Templars. Every 15 seconds, when you cast a Magicka ability, you remove up to 5 negative effects from yourself. This works very well as a back bar set since you want to purge usually when you go on the defensive. So you go on the defensive and the first ability you cast will then also remove 5 negative effects from you. The other set, Magicka Furnace, also works very well as a back bar only set when you take so the 5th piece is when you take damage from a melee attack while you're under 80% Magicka, you restore almost 8,000 Magicka. This effect can occur once every 30 seconds. Now this set is actually really strong, and it's a very underused set in my opinion. If you compare it to sets like Warlock or Lich, this comes out on top unless you're running, Lich might be able to outperform it on the best scenario, but it's very close in terms of returning Magicka. If you compare it to Warlock, Warlock gives a similar value. I think it's around 10k Magicka and it has a 60-second cooldown. So a lot lower Magicka return on that. And Lich usually gives around 10 to 12k Magicka, but that depends on whether you're running light armor, what race you are, what class, and so on. So that varies a little bit. But this is very nice also because it comes every 30 seconds instead of every 60 seconds, so you don't have to kind of wait for the proc the same way you do with these other sets. This comes in all the time. Also the added benefit of running 2 back barable 5-piece sets here is that I get the 2, 3, and 4-piece bonus from both sets active at all time. And these bonuses are really great on both these sets. So Weird Tree provides me with magic recovery, spell damage, and magic recovery, while Magicka Furnace provides me with physical resistance, max Magicka, and spell damage. All these stats are stats we need for this build, so that's really handy. On the back bar here, I'm running a reinforced shield. This is just what I could get my hands on with a max Magicka enchant. I would prefer to run impen like the front bar here, but that's fine for now. I'm running double dot poisons as well on the back bar just to help proc my Scoria and some extra single target dot pressure. Then I'm running 2-piece Vulcan Scoria here, both enchanted with max Magicka. I'm running 2 pieces of the Weird Tree on the body. I have reinforced legs. I like reinforced actually on heavy armor. It provides you with around 300 armor and spell resistance, which isn't bad. And impen on the chest. I have Tristat enchants on both these. Then I have divines on the shoulder and divines on the feet. So I'm running 2 divines, 1 reinforced, 4 impen, which is pretty good. 4 impen is fine. I'm also running 1 on the shield here, so that's just fine for me. Yeah, so, and 2 Tristat enchants, the rest Magicka. On my jewelry, I'm running 1 Magicka Furnace and 2 Weird Tree. And the 2 Weird Tree has been transmuted. I've transmuted 1 of them to Arcane and 1 of them to Triune. Now you could also just transmute both to arcane and put a tri-stat enchant here, but since I was transmuting it anyway, I chose to go this route here. Then I have 2 spell damage and 1 magic recovery on the jewelry. For the food, I'm running tri-stat food and tri-stat potions. Fairly simple. Most Magicka Dragon Knights run these. I also carry these. That provides me with major expedition and some incoming healing. Magicka Dragon Knights are pretty slow normally, so if you pop one of these here, you move quite a lot faster. So that can be useful sometimes, but I generally stick with the tri-stat potions. I'll just, yeah, I can't buff up the, or I could do it if I use this here. Normally I run degeneration. I'll just slot this just to show you the buffed stats here. So on the front bar, I have 39k max Magicka, 24,500 max health, and almost 17k max stamina. So really good max stat pools. Magic recovery is 1340. This goes up quite a bit with a pot. I didn't use the pot as well here. Okay, so with the pot it's 1525, and with continuous on top of that, then I'm sitting at around 1830. Now that's not a huge magic recovery, but we have to keep in mind that we also have Magicka Furnace on the back bar, giving us a lot of Magicka sustain. Magicka Furnace basically provides you with the equivalent of 500 to 550 magic recovery. So adding that to it, we're sitting at a magic recovery of a little bit more than 2k. And then we're of course also getting magic from our potions and our ultis and so on. Now the spell damage and the armor. The spell damage is 2,748, just buffed with major sorcery. Now with the weapon damage, enchant, and continuous, this goes up to 3,450. So pretty good spell damage as well. 42% crit, and our resistances, they just fell off right there. Resistances are sitting at 24,400, which is really high for a light armor build. Only way to get that high resistances is normally by running a defensive monster set or something like fortified brass. So this is really nice to get that in as well. And the resistances are coming from Magicka Furnace, which provides some physical resistance. You have the DK passives and the light armor passives providing you a lot of spell resistance, and then I have some CP to add to the physical resistance as well. And 2,500 critical resistance, so overall some good damage mitigation for light armor. Yeah. Also, I am a stage 4 vampire, and I'm running the Apprentice Munderstone for more spell damage. I'm also a dark elf for this build here. The skills I'm running now, I like to run this skills setup on Magicka Dragon Knight. There's one thing that some people might disagree with, is that I'm not running talents. And the reason why I'm not running talents is so many people are running forward momentum or mist form or something that quickly can remove it anyway. So I've found that it becomes kind of a dead skill on my bar sometimes when I use it. So I've chosen not to run it anymore. Now you could swap it in for something else if you'd like. Feel free to do so. This is just the way I run the build. On the front bar, I have Flame Lash, Shattering Rocks. I like Shattering Rocks over Fossilize because Fossilize, most people tend to dodge roll whenever you fossilize them, and then you end up missing your burst a lot of times. They don't do this with this, and it adds a little bit of healing, so I think this is a better morph. Draw Essence, I've chosen the ability that refunds me some Magicka. You can also go with the other one if you'd like, that interrupts people. That's really useful for when people are rezzing you in resing near you in an outnumbered situation, so you can also use that morph if you like. I just prefer this one because it's easier to sustain. Then I'm running Inner Light for the max Magicka and the crit, and Burning Embers, really good dot and a good heal as well. Keep this up on as many targets as possible in outnumbered fights. It'll give you a lot of incoming healing. So my healing on the front bar is coming. Basically all the skills heal me. This heals me whenever the effect ends or you reapply it. This heals you, especially if there's a lot of enemies around you. This can give you a decent heal. This will heal you on the second hit if they're off balance. Then it provides me with 14,500 HP over 2 seconds, so kind of a burst heal. And Shattering Rocks heals you whenever they attack you after you've used it. So you're getting a lot of healing back while you're on the offense here. And then of course Ferocious Leap, love this skill, also gives you a damage shield. But yeah, most Magicka Dragon Knights should know that by now. You can do some really nice bursts with combining Draw Essence and Ferocious Leap and Flame Lash. And on the back bar, I'm changing the ultimate every once in a while. Devouring Swarm is the one I usually run, but I also like to slot Shooting Star or Shifting Standard. Depending on the situation, if I'm in a group and we need Major Defile, Shifting Standard is really nice. In a 1v1 situation, Shooting Star is really nice as well, because you can use Shooting Star and you can bar swap and use Shattering Rocks, and they'll get CC'd through block just before it hits, ensuring that they take a lot of damage from the Shooting Star, kind of like you can do with the Sorcerer. So that's good as well. But overall, I like to have a defensive sort of ulti. So Devouring Swarm is pretty handy when you're outnumbered. Then I'm running Mist Form, or Elusive Mist, to remove snares and reposition. I do still like to run Vampire on Magicka Dragon Knight, although I know some people have started to drop it. If you don't like to run Vampire, slot Wings. The other morph, I have the morph that deals additional damage to the attacker. You want the one that removes snares and immobilizations if you're not a vampire. And then I'm not running this skill, I just slotted that before, so I'm running Degeneration. You can also use Structured Entropy if you like, that will give you a bigger heal on Coagulating Blood. But I tend to weave in light attacks, especially on my front bar here, which gives me some healing, or the chance to get some healing here. It's not a whole lot, but I don't like to have a huge difference in health on my two different bars, so I prefer Degeneration over Structured for this build. Then Coagulating Blood, kind of panic burst heal, and Cauterize, providing me the Major Prophecy on the back bar as well. We need it on the back bar too, because crit heals are very nice, so you don't want to only run it on the front bar, you want to run it on both bars here. And the way to do that is running Cauterize on the back, Inner Light on the front. And this is kind of like a Magicka Vigor, so to speak. It heals you every 5 seconds. It can also be used to heal an ally, so if you are playing with a teammate who's in trouble, you can actually spam this, and the first heal will usually go to them if they're low health, and heal them for 5k. It's not a whole lot, but it can just manage to keep someone alive if they're being pressured. And the last skill is Volatile Armor for the physical and spell resistance, and it's also a really nice AoE dot, helps proc Scoria. So I have this to proc Scoria, and I have Burning Embers and the doubled up poisons on the back bar. Now you could slot Talents instead of Inner Light if you would like, or you could slot it instead of Draw Essence. Swap the skills around however you prefer. This is just my setup that works well for me. For the CP in the green tree, I'm running 48 in Warlord, 23 in Sprinter. I do sprint a lot on Magicka, since they're pretty slow. You kind of have to rely on your sprint once in a while. So to reduce that, I'm running some points here. Here I'm running 56 in Arcanist, 7 in Mooncalf, and 15 in Tenacity. This is just for a little added stamina sustain. And here I'm running 44 in Tumbling and 56 in Shadow Ward. I like to roll dodge even on a build like this, so I'm running some more points in here. If you do run standard on your back bar, you want points in Befoul, so take some out of Tumbling, maybe some out of Warlord and Sprinter, and put them here. You could also run more points in Tenacity if you feel like having more stamina sustain, but I'm fine with the way it is like here. Here I'm running 23 in Blessed, 48 in Elfborn, 49 in Elemental Expert, and 40 in Spell Erosion. 56 in Master at Arms to boost my direct damage abilities, and 34 in Thaumaturge here. Red Tree, 56 in Ironclad, 51 in Resistant, 31 in Thickskin, 32 in Hardy and Elemental Defender, and 25 in Light Armor Focus. This is again to get our armor up a bit, and 23 in Quick Recovery for some added healing. I think that's about it. I will post a photo of the buffed stats here